Oh, it's great. It's exciting. I knew this day would come since my freshman year, first time stepping on campus. This guy is a born leader. Took me under his wing. He's a year older than me. He was a sophomore in my freshman year. College roommates. Just really a born coach, and I'm really excited for the guys. I was telling Lynn, I'm actually jealous. I wish I could go back, 7, 8 years or so and actually play for the guy because he's a player's coach. Like I said, born leader, and his passion, excitement, the players are going to feed off that and really bring the Mount back to where it was when we were 2008 down in Raleigh, winning rings, cutting down net. So extremely excited. I love him like a brother, and happy to be here to see this day. Obviously, freshman, sophomore year of college, he's matured a bit. You always have a good time here on campus, but like I said, even in those days, he's banging out the phone with the annual fund, raising money for the school, active in the community, and really, a year or two older than myself, but I look up to him because of his maturity. He's mature beyond his years, and he's continued to mature. And obviously, you all saw here today at the press conference, just a great head on his shoulders, great character. So he's matured and developed a lot.
The reaction was a little different amongst all the guys, but as we met with him on Sunday night, I think things started to ease, and we're just all confident in him and excited about the chance that we have under Coach Christian.
When he was hired, I think a lot of the guys were excited to have somebody younger and a player's coach. So I think we're all on the same page as far as having a younger coach and more energetic person as our leader.
My first impressions of Coach Christian is that he's a real personal guy. A lot of fun and a good coach that we can relate to on and off the court.
Very, very energetic, likable guy. Energy. His energy is something that we all look forward to playing with.
I'm looking forward to everything, actually. The workouts, the on the court, off the court. Next year, I'm just looking forward to it all and a new beginning and just having a good last 2 good years.
I think his player development skills will help me out a lot, as well as a lot of the other guards. So that would probably be the most thing I'm looking forward to working with him.
Well, so much of what you've seen today are the qualities that I identified and just loved, and the same qualities he had when he was a student athlete here. He just has such drive and energy and so positive. So he's always had those qualities, and then once he got the experience at some really quality programs in Bucknell, William & Mary, and at VCU, he just was an easy choice. He's very dynamic, and he has such a clarity of vision for where he wants to go with the program. Well, from the time, as most college students, from the time he was a freshman to a senior, I saw him grow. I used to count on Jamion. He was on several committees when we had student athletes as representatives. He also was a member of SAC. So I saw him grow a lot even while he was here as an undergrad. And through the years, certainly I've followed his career from afar. He's one of those former students who keeps in touch on a regular basis, and it's been a real pleasure for me to stay in touch with Jamion and get to know him as he's continued to grow and succeed in his coaching career. Well, we met with them. He's hit the ground running. I met with them on Sunday night, but he had already been reaching out to them through the weekend. I think that it was also new for them, but I can only imagine and assume, and in talking to them, that they just feel very inspired by how positive he's going to be in the direction. There's always a little tentative when you have a new coach, but I think he's won them over big time in very short order.
Yeah, well, he was actually a good player. Obviously, his senior year, he didn't play as much for us. He kind of had a little bit of crazy career. He played a lot early, scored a lot of points, didn't play as much later on. But it's funny, I think those experiences would absolutely have helped him in his coaching career. He'll be able to talk to a player about what it feels like to score 20 points in a game and what it feels like to not play the minutes that you wanted to play as a player, and how he dealt with it in a positive way.
Jamion was quick, good defender. In the beginning, shot the ball well, hit a slump later in his career, but was a very enthusiastic player, a guy that kept the team morale up and was a significant contributor because he was a tough defensive player. He really went after people. And, I think he was disappointed in some of his efforts, but hey, he gave you a lot, brought a lot to the team, and was a contributor to success.
Absolutely. He's always been a student of the game. It's always something that he's been passionate about. He loves the game of basketball. And then also, I think his senior year, when it was his toughest year and he didn't play as much, how engaged he was even though he wasn't playing, probably was the biggest tell-all that he could have a possibility of being a good coach. And there was something that he wanted to do. So he just flipped his focus. He just wanted to still be involved. That's why he was still a captain, even though he didn't play as much. And it was one of those things for us that now looking back on is something that probably helped him catapult him into the job that he wanted to pursue, which is to be a head basketball coach.
Well, really, Milan did the job of recruiting him, and it was what we wanted. We wanted to get a good, quick guard, could defend a lot well, and he could do all that. And I thought he contributed significantly early on. I like to blame Milan, say it was later that no, but it's just one of those things that happen.
Well, I think he's obviously learned a ton. He's worked for some really good guys in the coaching profession. He's been on a lot of styles. He's coached where they've scored 100 points. He's coached a guy that played matchup zone at Bucknell. They're running a Princeton-style offense at William & Mary. They press and get after you full court at VCU. So he's seen a lot of different things. I think that'll help him not only develop in his style, but also he'll be able to prepare for pretty much any different style that he's going to see and have to prepare the team for, because he's coached in so many different styles. So I'm really excited for him. I think he's done a great job to get to this point. It's always exciting to see one of your former guys get a chance to do something that you know he's passionate about, and he's going to be really successful for sure.
I think right from the very beginning, after graduation, he was sure he wanted to get into coaching, and hooked up down Division III down in Virginia, and moved on, and always enthusiastic. Talked to me all the time about what was going on and where he thought he was headed, and then he had a chance to move up and hook up at VCU, which was wonderful for him, and because he's one of the bright young minds, Shaka Smart, in the game, and somewhat like some of the others that they go with energy and effort. They want to push and shove and get everybody moving and doing things. And he did a good job. Shaka Smart did a great job, and I anticipate that he'll do the same thing for us. Jamion was always an aggressive player. He wanted movement, he wanted hustle, and he's going to demand it, and I think he'll get it.
Well, it's a lot of pride, obviously. It's a lot of pride. We talk a lot, and we've talked a lot over the past years about the ladder that he was trying to climb to get to the point where he can run his own program, and I'm just excited that he gets to come home. He gets to come to his alma mater and do that. And so, as a coach, when you're coaching your guys, you always want all your former players to be successful, and that's one of the things that myself as a head coach and as assistant, I always check up on all my guys, and they always check up on me. And it's great to see him have the success the way that he has in coaching, and it's everything's going to go up for him right here.
I think it's wonderful. As I say, even better yet, I'm trying to figure out who the last graduate of the Mount was the head coach. Nobody seems to know that. I don't know it. I think it goes back into the 30s sometime. Well, because Milan and I occupied a big chunk of that time.
I think it'll be good. I mean, obviously he's going to know that there's going to be some bumps in the road. Anybody with two eyes right now can see all roads lead through LIU. I mean, they're really good, and Jimmy's done a great job with those guys. So, but I think he'll bring the energy and passion that it takes in order to give yourself a chance, and that's all you want to do. You just want to give yourself a chance to be the last one standing, and I think he'll be very successful at doing that. The league is obviously tough, but as all of us coaches would say, they ask you what's the toughest league that you're in, and say the one that you're in at that time. So it's going to be a fight. He knows that every night.
Well, we're going to have to step up a little bit because we've been down now for 2 years, and the league is very tough. He's got a nucleus of players who are pretty good, with some shortcomings in certain areas, but I think will have them playing better than what they have been playing for whatever reason, and that's not to put down anybody else. It's just sometimes a change is what they need, almost a change for the sake of change.